Hi, class. So there are four different types of interviews that are discussed within Chapter 2. So those four are phone interview, which is more of the employer or organization just trying to get to know you as a person. The second one is a one-on-one interview. And this usually goes after the phone interview. So once they get to know you and they feel like you may be a great fit to their company, then they'll do the one-on-one interview, which is a simple sit down. And that mostly happens with the direct supervisor. They'll ask you a list of questions that revolve around the job description and try to see what you can highlight on that would be similar to fitting that role. The next would be a group interview. This is something that I have done before with about maybe 10 to 12 people. But this can occur anywhere from 30 to 50 candidates in a room. There's usually more than one supervisor in there as well, and they're asking specific questions, again, that highlight around the job description. So I think within this, it's important to really be creative when you're thinking. You don't want to answer the same exact way that someone else did. So it's important to think outside of the box and kind of bring your own style into it. The next thing is a panel interview, which I have personally have never done, but it's a list of specific questions, and they rate you based on your responses. I think that's pretty cool, but a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, because you may think that your response is really good, but they may think otherwise. So that is something that I've never done. When it comes to my strengths during interviews, I would say that something that I've learned that has really, really helped me is researching the company and, just talking more about them because they usually ask right off the bat, just from my personal experience, but, oh, do you know anything about our company and what we do? What got you interested in applying to us? Was there something that stuck out to you? So it's important to do your research because then you can just come back with an answer like, oh, your company does this and so and so and so and so. And it's also important if you know who your interviewer is, to research them. So I go on LinkedIn and I'll look up, their background and what got them to where they're at. A lot of times they grew within the company. So when it comes to asking questions, I'll highlight on them and what they've done, and then I'll ask the question. So for example, I'll say, growth is something that's really important to me. I saw on your LinkedIn profile that you started off in this similar position and you grew within two different roles. Can you tell me how that was possible and how growth is within your company and how fast it was to get to where you're at today? Was it a process? What makes it difficult? Blah, 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 and so forth. They love when you talk about them. Anybody loves when you highlight on their strengths. So I think it's important to do that, and that's something that I've learned that has really helped me. Another thing, which is super important, but to prepare yourself with questions, I say anywhere from 3 to 5 questions because they may answer something within the interview, and you're like, oh shoot, they answered that question, and now I gotta ask something else. So I think it's important to do that as well. My biggest weaknesses, or my biggest weakness actually, sometimes I over prepare. So I'll spend about a day or two just preparing for an interview the next day, and I just go point blank because I just have information overload. So, it's good to prepare, but I feel like for me personally, I just cannot over prepare because then I just get a brain fart. But other than that, that is all. Thank you.